remember what happened on West Drive? Like, you gotta help them. And I'm like, is she sabotaging this, or is she actually just saying, follow this plot to West Drive? But then we find out later, she's just like, yeah, follow this plot to West Drive.
Apparently. Also, apparently there's a character on West Drive named Gatsby. We learned this today.
Oh, yeah. And then we're with Claire, who's Skyping beautiful Skype Eli.
Just the most beautiful
Skype.
Skype.
Hanging out with some really annoying, loud, laughing girl who's like, ha, come on, Eli, ha, come join us. I'm like, nobody talks like that.
No. Also, apparently her name is Lenore, which is a real sick Poe reference for Eli to be friends with.
It just makes me think of my grandma because, like, the senior living community she lives in is called Lenore.
That's hilarious. No, Lenore was Poe's wife who died really young. He wrote that, she comes up in the Raven a bunch. All of his grief shit is about her. I think she was also his cousin. It's conflicting. But so when he was like Lenore, I was like, really? Does Eli have to be this on brand literally all the time?
But the Skype call is actually the most realistic Skype quality that I've seen on this show, which leads me, it's lagging and everything, which leads me to believe they actually filmed this with real Skype, and it was just laggy and shitty because the actor was not in town or something.
Yep.
And then, but she's all insecure about college and not being able to get in and this journalism shit and how the story's not working out the way she wants it to. And he's like, it's gonna be fine. Gotta go. Bye.
But she also says cancer ruined everything. And I wrote, oh, Claire, sad face.
Yeah.
And we give Claire shit because Claire's the worst, but it does hurt my soul. I do feel sad for Claire, and I want her life to be good.
Yeah.
I just also don't want her to be on the show anymore.
But then she starts writing, and it's oh, maybe she's inspired, and then we find out later oh, she was inspired to lie. But then the next day we're with Winston on his first day on the job.
He asked Drew if he's man-tractive, which annoyed me in so many different ways.
Well, first he makes up a middle name for Drew, and then asks Drew if he thinks that Winston is man-tractive, and everyone's like, what are you doing? This is not what we asked you to do. It's bizarre.
It's very strange.
And Becky is there, and she still wants to help because she wants to keep busy.
Oh, Becky.
And then Tristan is giving Miles fake steroids in the locker room. I was pretty certain they were going to be fake the whole time.
Yeah, me
but
too.
I was worried for a second. And I'm like, please don't tell me that these are going to be real because this doesn't look real.
No.
And he's like, thanks, dude. And then we find out that Claire made up the whole entire article and sent it in like a dummy.
And forgot to write her essay for her actual class.
Yeah, and I'm like, girl, this is libel. This is literal libel. This is literally illegal. Do not be Stephen Glass. And then she references Stephen Glass later, and I'm like, girl, this is what not to do in journalism 101. I had to watch that dumb Stephen Glass biopic with Hayden Christensen in college as a learning lesson of don't make shit up. Fact checking is important. Anyway, girl, go to the doctor is my last note of part 1.
Yeah, because she is mixing up words. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. And Allie's worried, and she's like, you need to go to the doctor immediately.
Seriously.
Because it's she's being stupid. And then part 2 starts off with some basketball practice, and it made me think, wow, we actually haven't had basketball in a long time.
Yeah, when was the last time we had basketball?
I'm like, I want to say it was when Jimmy was the coach and shit.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? I don't know. And then with Derek. Ugh. God, remember that?
I forgot about Derek.
And then they're all playing, and Tristan says, someone call a doctor because that layup was sick to Miles. And then, I don't know.
Miles is going to start now.
Yeah, and he's like, thanks for the pick-me-up. And I think we find out that, he told other people on the team about the steroids, and Tristan is just now becoming a drug dealer for the team.
But a fake drug dealer.
And then we're with Allie, and Claire, and Claire's like, what am I going to do about this article situation? And Allie's like, just use the cancer card. And I'm like, honestly, I would like lean on that at this point because you did such a stupid thing.
Yeah.
But Claire just wants to lie more. And she's like, I'll just say that I got a competing offer from another magazine who are offering me more money and I'm going to pull it out. And I'm like, whatever. Just make sure that shit doesn't publish, girl.
Seriously.
And then we're with Becky and Imogen. And Becky is grateful Imogen is letting her help out with Degrassi TV. And she's like, but everyone's being weird about what happened with Adam. Like, why was he trying to call me so badly? Like, what? No one, people aren't telling me something. And Imogen gets uncomfortable and is like, I don't want to have this conversation.
Pretty much. Also, Becky says he was pretty much my only friend at Degrassi, which is so sad and sweet. But also, what about Jenna?
I know.
Why are we just forgetting Jenna? Jenna's great.
Yeah. And then we're at the doctor office, and it's stressful. But then we find out she's still cancer-free, but she has chemo brain. So she has to slow things down and wait it out. And it could last from a few months to a few years, and that's scary.
Two things. One, when they're in the waiting room, what is that brain tumor stock photo that they use on that pamphlet? It is just like an attractive woman holding her head in her hands. It is. I
did not notice
it
that.
Is extremely bad and funny and like right out of Shutterstock, which made me laugh for a while.
Oh, it was Shutterstock.
100% was Shutterstock or like Dreams Time. And then. And then also when the doctor is like suggesting she do yoga, she's like, my brain feels like baby food and you're suggesting downward dog. And I was like,
fucking Claire, so dramatic.
Jesus, Claire.
But then we're with Dallas and Tristan, and Dallas is confronting Tristan about the steroids, and then Tristan's like, they're fake, they're vitamins, and he's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Don't fuck up my team.
Which is fair.
And then...
Also, I love Dallas in this leading role. He's so good in it.
He's like, you can't have steroids tear up the team. What if they do a random drug test? And he's like, well, they're all passed. And it's like, and then they're gonna find out you've been dealing them fake drugs. And I'm like, this is so confusing
and terrible and boring.
It's like, it's such a nothing plot. All of it is such nothing.
This entire there's no stakes.
So nothing. There's no stakes. Even like the Becky stuff. It's like. At the end, it's like, oh, and then nothing dramatic happened. Okay,
there's
great.
No stakes.
No stakes in this whole episode.
This was a slog to get through.
But then we're with Claire, who then is like, well, Stephen Glass got away with it for so long. How am I ever going to get into Columbia? What am I going to do? And I'm like, girl, you don't have to go to Columbia. If you really want to be near Eli, just apply somewhere else in New York. And if you really are dead set on Columbia, transfer later.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Columbia or bust.
No.
Come on, girl.
Do you know how many schools are in this city? I went to school in this city. She's not getting into the school. She doesn't do art.
And Columbia doesn't even have an undergrad journalism program. They only have the grad school. Yeah. Do your fucking research, Claire. You can go to Mizzou. Mizzou's the #1 journalism school in the country. No brag, but kind of a brag. But like, or go to Northwestern. Or if you're really dead set on journalism school, Columbia isn't even good for undergrad.
Go to NYU.
Go to NYU and then go to grad school at Columbia. Columbia's an expensive fucking school.
Yeah, you don't need to Ivy League.
Don't
go
to
Ivy
NYU League for undergrad.
Go to NYU. Also, NYU isn't only Tisch.
Yeah, it's not.
NYU is huge. I used to give tours at my old college, and we would joke that the people that own the most real estate in Manhattan is the Catholic Church, followed by NYU, followed by SVA, because we had like 14 buildings. It's just like, NYU is enormous. It is not just Tisch. You are not like stalking Eli. Or go to Pace.
Literally anywhere else in the city. If you go to school in the city, you can get a good like journalism experience just by being like around all of it. You don't have to have like the shiny Ivy League degree.
No. Go to Pace or something.
Or like Barnard. I don't know. I mean, that's still kind of expensive and Ivy League-esque, but like... Yeah. Still, or go to Sarah Lawrence.
Yeah,
that's also still really expensive though.
Sarah Lawrence. I mean, if you're going anywhere in New York that's a private college, it's going to be expensive.
That's true.
Go to Brooklyn College.
Yeah.
You want to live in Brooklyn so bad? How about you fix your stupid fake commute to Columbia,
Claire? Do your research.
Jesus.
Although you have chemo brain right now, so maybe you're not in the position to do that.
No, but she's been set on this since pre-cancer.
It's just like...
It's a stupid plan.
They don't even have an undergrad program at Columbia for journalism. It doesn't make sense. Okay. Anyway,
we're with Imogen and Drew, and Imogen says to Drew's face, "I can't tell Becky I kissed her dead boyfriend."
She says, "How am I supposed to look her in the eye when I kissed her dead boyfriend?" I'm pretty sure. And it's like, she's like struggling. And I'm like, these kids have been through so much fucking shit.
Seriously, but Drew gives good advice.
Drew gives good advice. He's like, okay, we'll tell her the truth. And she's like, no, I can't do that. She's like, well, then lie. And she's like, well, that'll blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what would you want to hear? Like, basically.
Yeah. He's
a very good, like, sounding board in this moment.
He is. He isn't always, but in this moment he is.
Yeah. And then, oh my God. And then they have Claire back in the fucking office. Follow up on the article, I guess. She's like, so we loved it. But we're gonna fact check it, and we're gonna call Zoe in to have her to fact check it. I'm like, they wouldn't do that either. They would just call her. They wouldn't like be like, come into our office and we can go through the article and fact check it together.
No,
that's not how this works.
They would call her agent. They wouldn't even call her. They would call her agent.
And they're like, and if it goes well, we'll consider making you a monthly contributor. And I'm like, they wouldn't do that with a high school student.
No.
It doesn't make sense. She doesn't have experience.
This is stupid.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb.
And then, yeah, it's like stupid. And then we're with Tristan, and he comes clean about the fake steroids to Miles. And then Miles is like, what? You give me fake drugs? You think I'm stupid? Blah. And he's all like portrayed, and it's weird. And I don't know, he like storms out, and it's like, okay, this is the dumbest plot I've ever heard of.
Seriously.
Like, would you really be that mad about it? It's like, you still made the team. Like,
right?
He just gave you B12.
He's like, I'm gonna look like an idiot now. It's like, well, yeah, because you're an idiot.
Stupid.
Also, Maya enters with my new favorite line, which is trouble in B-ball bro paradise.
And she says, how many times do I have to tell you? Reenacting West Drive plots will never solve your problems.
I just can't care about anything that's happening.
Tristan's like, I need to get everyone off fake drugs without them finding out they're on fake drugs. I'm like, this is the dumbest plot ever.
You guys hated everything that happened.
It just, it's so dumb.
Don't care.
And then Claire is running the fake story by Zoe, and she's like, no, this is so not true. And she's like, I will let you run part of this as long as you make me the hero of the story. And Claire's like, but they liked that you weren't. And she's like, and then Claire uses the cancer card, and then Zoe's like, cancer didn't make you lie, Claire, you did that all by yourself, and like walks away, which is kind of amazing.
Also, like, it's stupid to me that Claire's like, I can't change it, they already like it. Like, just change it and be like, no, Zoe made me change it.
Just blame it on Zoe.
Exactly.
Like, she didn't like how it portrayed her. She was not going to approve the story, even though it all totally happened. The source has like has the last say over how they're portrayed in the situation.
Exactly.
So
I was like,
sorry.
Like, it happens all the time.
Oh yeah.
It happens all the time. Like, covers.
People change their quotes all the time.
Yes. And also, it's the same thing with photos. Like, the photo director of a magazine does not always have the last say. The photo still has to get approved.
Yeah. The town has to approve everything.
Even, like, tiny photos, like, in most magazines, if you're in contact with the agent and you're not just doing, like, a Shutterstock thing, like, you have to get even if it is, like, Getty Images, you have to get it approved by the agent.
Yeah. It's stupid. But then we're with Winston, and he's struggling at being an anchor, and that's basically all that happens, right? I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
And then Claire's like with Allie, and she's stressing out, and Allie's like pretending to be Zoe, like practicing in case. And she's like, really? Like, you're really going to have me pretend to be Zoe when they call to fact check this? And Claire's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Blah. I can't lie anymore. And then we're with Becky and Imogen.
And Becky has a line that I've never, like, I relate more to this line than, like, anything else I've heard my whole life. And you're laughing because you already know what I'm going to say. She says, I'm someone who needs to talk all the time, and I forget that not everyone is like that. Yeah. And I was like, oh, girl, I feel that's so hard.
I was right. Becky likes to talk it out. And then Imogen basically tells Becky all that really matters about what happened with Adam was that he loved her and he just wanted to talk to her, and that's all that basically happened, and that's all that really matters. And then she offers her a co-anchor role because Winston will not leave.
Nope. And also that boy needs to be balanced out.
Yes. And then we're with Claire, who goes back to the magazine offices and